Welcome! These are horse racing selections for Thursday, the 9th of November. I am Flat Cap Callum and I am hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, I think there's plants attacking me a bit behind here. Right, let's nudge it back a bit. Hopefully that's alright. Right, I'm hoping you're alright. Thursday, quiet is for me Thursday. So I've got two bets. It's 10.50 stake, so it's just a smidge over half a day stake. What I've got is I've got a main bet, 4 horses and a Yankee, all early, all on the jump. So I've got nothing at Chelmsford. So there was nothing that quite made the grade for me for the channel for Chelmsford. So literally for the main Yankee, there's one in each of the jumps meetings. So Clonmel, Newbury, Ludlow, Sedgefield. And all early, so that we'll be done by 2 o'clock as far as that bet goes. And then I've got 2 others in bet 1 where, by rights, they're a bit like a Dynamite Katie from earlier in the week. They are what I would normally class as side bets. So they're horses I'm looking at playing in sort of 5-6 place side markets. But there was 2 of them, and I thought I could just give them a mention, or given where the price they are in the market now on the main market, they're very unlikely to place. They'll need something else to go wrong, or they'll need a bit of a jurt of improvement. But given the prices, I was like, it's worth doing. But it's one of them bets, where you basically 1 in 100 times it comes up, and you'll still be making a profit. So it's a rarity. So 2 pair at 66 to 1 shots basically that are more side market, but we'll do it there, and I'll leave it up to you guys whether you want to do it as I've said on the channel, because for the channel I'm not taking side bet markets, so I need to be able to make sure that everybody can get it from at least 3 bookmakers. So I can't do side markets for the statistics, but if you want to do it like that, then you can do. The challenge is if you're doing side markets, you can't necessarily do them in a double. Right, so that's coming up. We've got to do a review of yesterday. I forgot to mention, I started to mention, then I forgot to go back to it, the Melbourne Cup. So I need to do that. So I need to do yesterday's or Wednesday stuff. I need to do Melbourne Cup. And then once I've done the bets for Thursday, I need to do Tipster competition update. That is the extent. I'm expecting it to be a shorter vid. Just so I've said it out loud as well, and please hold me to account to this, but the horse on Monday that we mentioned a bit about yesterday's video that was running, that was 4th, that certain bookmaker didn't pay out for some and did for others. I am going to come back to that specific thing, but I need a bit of time. So I'm saying that. If I forget next week or the week after, then ask me about it. But yeah, I need the stuff I want to talk about, but I need to be very careful about what I say. And that's, to be honest, that's just protecting myself a little bit, and what I do off the channel. So, but I will come back to you. The stuff I want to talk about that, but I just don't. It's a bit too soon. Once the dust settles, I can talk about that. And it's basically a bit of advice about what happens when you have a potential challenge, and how to best navigate that situation whilst communicating with the party that you're unhappy with. So I'll come back to it. Anyway, right. Wednesday. What did we do Wednesday? We made a small profit, and if you were on Bog Bookie, you'd have made a bit more than some. And then annoyingly, the only bookmaker that didn't pay out, mention Bet Victor. We don't talk about Bet Victor because they're terrible for my bets. But of all the major bookies, it was only William Hill, and I said it on the video last night. And we ended up having 2 4th places. William Hill paid 3 places on them Dundalk handicaps. So if you're Michael and you watch this, I'm sorry. I know you go to the shop and you put your bets on at William Hill, and if that's the choice you've got, unfortunately. I will do my best, and I did yesterday. I advised it's not a good place to put them on with William Hill. I'm paying extra place markets, and if they're not paying those extra places, you're at a massive disadvantage compared to all the other bookies. So gutted for anyone who's it's not like it was life changing sum of money, but frustrated for anyone with William Hill because they were being a bit tight. for Wednesday. So we had first bet, which was a pile of trash. Slugger, I mean, that went off. It was 11-8 favourite, I think it went off. I said it was about 5-2, 11-4. 11-8 favourite was too short. As far as I could see, it touched even money in running. And then sort of, I think, slightly fluffed the second last fence. And I just think the jockey didn't fancy it to get placed. He just thought he'd conserve his energy once he realised he wasn't going to win the race. So it's one of them ones, it's so difficult because I wouldn't say the horse was a non-trier. I would say that to me it looked like the jockey didn't give the horse maximum effort. Once he realised the race wasn't able to win, he wasn't riding that horse to finish third and didn't try to finish third. He just accepted his fate. So you see it all the time. It's so difficult sometimes, and particularly on your blinking 4-1 shot. It would have made not much difference anyway. Then 250, that was one I talked a lot about, Moo Moo's Milan. It didn't seem that keen, did it? Let's be fair. So, I mean, obviously mentioned about the trainer, Laura Morgan, and I think it might have been Secret Lemonade Drinker in the comments mentioned about a record at Musselburgh. Ben generally got a cracking record across Scotland, so Perth as well. And she sent up 3 horses to Musselburgh, and one did go and win, but clearly not our horse. That wasn't keen. So all of that kind of effort into that horse and nothing. And then Chartswell Lady, that was a big drifter. These were drifter 20 something, and then Chartswell Lady 100-1 was a drifter. And sometimes when these things drift, I don't mind about it, and some I'm less keen on. And Chartswell Lady, I thought, that's once that one's gone, given the type of race it was, I was like, no, they're not keen. And then we had non-runner, so 60p refund for that bet 1, and then bet 2 we made a nice profit in terms of from a percentages point of view. So 310 Sunset Nova, talked about that yesterday around it being a 3rd to 6 type of horse, so it should always be around the 12 to 14 mark. It duly went to Oblige and got 4th place, which paid out for everyone except Hills. I think 16s was the SP, but hopefully quite a lot would have gone at 25s. It's one of them ones. Now it's finished 4th. It'll probably go. It probably won't change much in the handicap mark, so its chances probably won't be much different next time it runs. But it'd be interesting to see how much of a lower price it is or it isn't. So anything 16s and above next time for Sunset Nova over that distance at Dundalk, its value. 12s and 14s is where it should be, and anything sort of below that, it wouldn't be something I'll be backing. Then 345 Memorial Verse, that was a huge drifter, I think. That was like nonsense. I think it went out to nearly 100-1 at one point. And wasn't that close, but wasn't a million miles away. It was sort of mid-pack. 420 Hasten Slowly, that was no good, and that one was a drifter too. So it was one of them days you start going, hang on a minute, they're all drifting, none of them look like they're doing any good. And then Cartier's was a drifter. You could have got 28s just before the off on that one. Went from the front, did get a little bit of interference, I think, from the loose horse, but still managed to stay on to get 3rd place. So 25s, I think, was the SP on that one. So not all the drifters were bad today. And then Darkened managed to finish the job for us and get a 3rd horse in the bet. So we had 3 places, 25s, 16s and 10s for the channel. I think there might have been some paying a Raw 4 on Sunset Nova. Some looked like they did and some looked like they didn't. I haven't classed it as a Raw 4 for the channel because I placed a channel bet where with a bookmaker and it didn't pay a Raw 4, but I think I worked out another bet I'd done with another bookmaker. I think there was a 10p Raw 4 in there. So I've not classed it as that. And then, so that was it. So I think we had 17 on 21.36 backs, a 4.36 profit. For the week, we are behind by £3 and something pence. For the month, £38. So we're about just under 2 days stake behind, and we've got half a day stake going down for Thursday. Mentioned on the Melbourne Cup. So originally I put up a horse called Cleveland, got pulled out not long after I wrote the comment about it. So that was done for. And then some of you would have seen about 11 o'clock on Monday night, so about 5 hours before the Melbourne Cup, I put up a couple of alternatives. I know quite a few people saw it up in the comments. Ash Run and Serpentine. At the time, best price was 40s on Paddy's. But that price went not that long after. I couldn't honestly tell you. I think it was something around 15 minutes after my comment. broadly then went 33 across the board. So Ashrun did place 25s was the SP. So even if you got 25s, you'd have made a small profit on the two of them. It wasn't staked for the channel, but worth a mention. And well done to anyone who got Shiraz that was placed at 150 to 1 in the Melbourne Cup. That was that. Okay, Thursday's bets and then Tipster, and I think that's it because golf hasn't started yet, and our two golfers, Elvira and Lower, start tomorrow. So first bet for Thursday. This is the side bet. So I've included them on the channel because basically if you manage to score miraculously 2 places off these prices, then you're getting 50 quid back for the double bet. And about 14, 15 pound back for the singles. But the double bet, 50 pence, you'll get back 50 pound if they both place. That's basically 100 to 1, so 100 times the 50 pence you've put out there. So I absolutely would say that these two types of horses would get placed in this race more often together than a 1 in 100 chance. But I would be much keener on these. So, looking at something like 6th place market at 40, 50 to 1 for these two horses, that is a better bet. 100% is a better bet because they are very unlikely winners. They would need to show significant improvement to be winning races of those natures. It does happen. But in terms of actual bare form compared to some of the others in the race, I think there's definite value even in the outright market at 66s. But when I say from a points point of view, it's there because I would argue these two are probably more there's slightly more value in the dark edge, I would say. So overall, I would probably put that 25s and that about 33s. So just to give you a bit of an idea. So when you get in side bet markets with extra places at 40s and 50s, you can kind of see what it is. From a points point of view, if I'm saying that's 33, it's 33 point value. That sounds huge. But because it's inconsistent in terms of, that's still a 33 to 1 shot. So that's still 6.6 to 1 chance of placing. That's how I would rate that. So chances of that placing are roughly, I would say, about 1 in 6, 1 in 7 chance of it actually finishing top 3. It's a risky one, so it's not the kind of thing I'd go big on in a multiples in the outright market. So we've got them there as singles, so 2 50p each way singles and a 25p each way double. But if they both place at those prices, no rule 4 would be turning over about 60. Well, we get back about 64, 65 pound. Everyone would be very happy. It's very, very unlikely on those, but I had 2 of them, so I thought, well, I'll put them both up there. If it was 1, I probably would have just given it a mention, maybe, and I think I'd have given it a mention, but that's it. So £2.50, bog bookie is what you want, and there's no other bookies I can see paying more than 3 places on those races. So 2 at Newbury, 12.40 bits and buckles, and the 3.35 the dark edge, 66 to 1s. That's those, and then the main bet for the day. All sorts of interesting jumpy races on these. I think I've got maiden, a novice handicap chase, and a handicap hurdle. I think I've almost got the full range. So we've got 1 o'clock Sedgefield, Dudley's Bar at 25s, 125 Ludlow, the watch out on that 7 runner. We've got 5 bookies recommended on there. Sky 365, Coral, Ladbrokes, Betfred. They're the 5 currently paying 3rd place on that 125 for 7 runner. Inish Biggles 12s. Then the 140 has been a regular on the channel at Clonmel, Bally Adam Destiny, 25 standout price on 365 at the time of making the video. It's a bit of a Sunset Nova, that, I guess. It's a bit of a jumpsy Sunset Nova. It regularly runs well, and it's probably one of these horses that's, finishes in the 3rd to 6th kind of a range. It runs the odd bad race, but pretty consistent. And from a handicap mark, it's not really moving very much. So there's not really an obvious reason why it would run a bad race. So it just doesn't look, it's not a progressive type of horse. So I'm looking at that horse to finish 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th type range, and therefore probably about 12s is the right price. There's not huge value in it. When I first looked at it, it was a bit bigger, and if you've got the 25s of 365, much better. And then 150 Newbury Manimole 20 to 1. So 20p each way Yankee, 50p each way singles. I don't know how clear those colours are, but the basically 3 bigger prices. Dudley's Bar, Bally Adam Destiny, Manimole, 3 times 50p each way singles, and a 60p win single on Inish Biglet 12s. Sky come out best because they are 4 on that race at Clonmel. And then 365 Coral Ladbrokes, you'll get best price guarantee in the morning. That's top and bottom are standard terms, but it's that 3 places on that 7 runner which could be helpful. And then Betfred 5th best. If you're not getting any of those 5 bookies, if you haven't got the option of any of those 5, I still would back that horse quarter of the odds first 2. So just to be clear on that, I would do that. It's just preferable if you can find one of those 5 bookies to use. £8 is the bet. So 8 plus the 250, 10.50 is our bet. That is that. And then I think that's it. I think just Tipster stuff. I just got my note here for Tipster stuff so I can remember all my stats. Hang on, wrong way round. What I just want to say about Tipster stuff, I haven't had a chance to go through the stats myself. So the stats I'm quoting are purely what Stephen sent me over. So thank you, as always, Stephen, for sending me stuff over. It's much appreciated. But yeah, so I'm quoting what Stephen sent me over because I have great faith that he's ace with his data. So, but yeah, I haven't got anything to compare against. So I will double check these. So 50 entrants we had this week. 10 made profits, a 20%, a slight drop on last week. 34 lost everything, 68%, so a slight increase. So overall, it wasn't a good week as a collective. It didn't take as much, so 10 people make profit. So Robin Wilson made £1 profit. Well done, Robin. You managed to make it 10th on overall for the league table. I think it's 4 people that were in top 10 that were in the top 10 last week. But overall, one of our top 3 has done it again. This time it's Secret Lemonade Drinker, £48, top of the pops. Leo second at 39.20. Ed Trainer third at 35. And then Steve Matthew 22.80. I'll put the rest in the comments so you can see the whole top 10. And then overall, what does that mean overall? It means we've got a change of leader on the leaderboard. Secret Lemonade Drinker has moved up to number 1 spot. Well done, 249.80. He's played the full 11 weeks. Second is Sir Mark Kevin, who had a rare blip. Lost his £10, second now 215. Des Gibbons third, 161.60. And I mean, I do remember that week. There was a week where Des got avoided, and he would have won nicely, but it wouldn't have been enough to put him, I don't think, off memory, any different now. So Des 161.60 in third, and then Alex Powell 77.83. So Sir Mark Evan, Des Gibbons, Alex Powell, all still in the top 4, but all lost were a £10 loss last week, and then. Basically, the top 10 is the same people as it was last week. There's just a few little changes of order, but at least half of them, it was a £10 loss week. So I think it was only 4 of the top 10 made a profit this week, but the actual physical top 10 is the same people, just in a different order. And then the actual overall value, so Drawman is 10th at 37.60, which is lower than 10th was last week. Hopefully that makes sense. So well done to everybody for taking part. It's fairly consistent at the moment. We get a couple of new entries, but roughly about 50 people each week. So hopefully people are enjoying it, a little bit of fun. I guess trying to put out the league table for top 10 keeps it interesting, but I am conscious there's a whole bunch of people that probably just I don't know. Somebody will just try for glory every week because you can get in the league table and be in the top 10 anytime for the week. But there'll be some that sort of mid-pack that just probably have given up, I think, and fallen by the wayside. So yeah, but well done to anyone who's kind of participating and getting involved, and well done to everybody for nobody putting in a Breeders' Cup tip last week. So there was a few voided entries for various reasons, but nobody put in Breeders' Cup horses. So that was very much appreciated because I think that would have just tipped me and Stephen over the edge to do those extra 9 races and have to run stats on all of them as well. So that would have been too much. All right, I think that's the vid for this week. Not the week, this week, today. That's the vid for today, and it's going to be uploaded nice and in a reasonable time, unlike the last night. So tonight is, it's Wednesday night, so then I should be back Thursday night for Friday selections. Where we'll probably, I'm assuming it's Dundalk again on Friday, so we'll have a little bit of a look-see. And that is me. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good one. See you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.